Hi Stampers, happy Friday. It is a blustery, rainy day where I am, and I'm seeing that it's looking kind of dark in my room. But that's because it's been so dark outside. I'm looking out the window. This has been going on for days. There's areas hi Nancy, thanks for joining. There's areas within our large community of towns, I'll put it that way, that are flooding. So yeah, it's been crazy. I have got two really pretty, hi Danita, Christmas cards to do today that I'm really excited to do, and they are in such pretty colors. So I'm going to go ahead and get the camera mounted because I've got some other things that I want to tell you about real quick before we get started. All right, let me get this up in the air here. Okay, so the first thing I want to tell you about is a seasonal sale that is coming up. So this is November 16th through the 18th. And it's 10%. Now these products are only like products that are in the annual catalog, so nothing that is in the holiday or mini catalog. But the sale includes 10% off cardstock, and that also includes the cardstock, the multicolor packs, so like the in color packs and things like that, and the 12 by 12. 15% off ink pads, but doesn't include the bundles, so not the bundles of the color groups. And it also does not include like the it says third-party pads, and what they mean by that is like mementos, so not any of the pads that are not Stampin' Up. Excuse me. And then 20% off the dies. So that is a really great deal. So if you're thinking about purchasing any of these things coming up here shortly, you might want to wait until the sale starts on the 16th. So it's just 3 days. So keep that in mind. And then also I wanted to tell you about an early release collection called Eden's Garden. So if you like to do floral stamping or like a lot of greenery, here are some samples here. That wreath is really pretty. You could do a Christmas wreath with that. You might be interested in this set. I'm going to flip the page here so you can see. This is the Stamp and Die bundle up here. So if you bought those together, you would get a 10% discount on that. Hi, Sue. I guess I should get this up on my iPad so I can see people's comments here. Okay, so there's a Stamp and Die set. Now, the Stamp and Die set will carry over into the January-June mini catalog. But I believe the rest of the products are, the rest of the products are only while supplies last. There's some really beautiful bling. So Garden Gems, those are only while supplies last. So there you can kind of get a look at what those are about. The colors there are Cherry Cobbler, Soft Succulent, just those two colors. And they're also kind of an iridescent. And then there is some cotton paper. You get 5 each of those two colors in a 12 by 12, Evening Evergreen and Soft Succulent. And then there's the Designer Series paper. There's some gold foiling in that. So those things are all only while supplies last. If you wanted the whole collection so that you don't miss out on anything, you can do that under one shopping number there. It'd be $82. And that would include 10% off on the Stamp and Die bundle. For that price, you'll get all of these things. Okay, so that's Eden's Garden, and you can find it on my shopping site, which I'll give you the address in just a minute. And then the last thing I wanted to tell you about is that there's a promotion going on now. If you wanted to sign up and get a demonstrator kit, you can do that for $75, and you still, for that price, get to pick $125 worth of products of your choice. So it could be anything from the current catalog or the mini catalog. In that $75, you are also going to receive a paper pumpkin kit. It's not the current paper pumpkin kit, but it will be a paper pumpkin kit of some sort. You'll get some business supplies in there, so if you decided you wanted to turn it into a business, you will have that stuff as well. And you'll get that whole $125 worth of products for free shipping on that, okay? So if you're interested, you can check that out also on my shopping site. And if you have any questions, just ask me and I can walk you through all that. Here is the address where you can find all of those things. And my current November host code, I had to get a little creative with it because I didn't have enough V's. There were only 2 V's in all my letters and I needed 3 V's. So I just put a little washi tape there and turned an A upside down. I tried to color my washi tape to blend in with that gray background. You know, you do what you gotta do, right? But it works. So when you shop with me and spend $50 before shipping and taxes, I send you a thank you gift the following month. But be sure you put in that host code to get that. And anytime you shop with me and spend any amount of under $150, please use that code. There's a place to put it at checkout. Alrighty, I'm ready to get started. I'm really excited to do these cards today because I'm loving the colors and I just thought they turned out so cute. So I'm using the Whimsy and Wonder suite today of products. You can get the whole suite of this selection for $80.25, or you can get the stamp and die set and save 10% when you bundle those together for $51.25. I didn't look this morning, but I did look yesterday, and I believe all the products in this suite are still available. There's a really pretty ribbon, which I'll show you in a minute. There are these gorgeous iridescent snowflakes, which here it shows you that you can color them with your alcohol markers and make them whatever color you'd like. And then the absolutely gorgeous papers. So let me show you these things. I have everything except the snowflakes. I didn't get those. But here's the stamp set. It is a red rubber cling stamp set. And it's really sweet. I love it. And look at the fun dies that are included here. You get all kinds of trees, big trees, pencil trees, all kinds of trees. And then there are little ornaments and stars that you can also use as ornaments if you want to on your trees. And dies that cut out the images, the stamped images there, even the ornaments. There's the die right there that cuts those out along with the strings that they hang with. The only excuse me, the only things that there's not dies for, let's see here, are the sentiments. Okay, so there's that. Here's this gorgeous frayed edge pink ribbon. I absolutely love it. Kind of shabby chic. And then the papers. The papers are so pretty. And I just love the colors. And then there's foiling. And the foiling is iridescent. So if you put other colors of metals with it, it just kind of picks up whatever metal color you're using. So you can do silver, gold, like rose gold. It's just got all of those kind of metallic colors in it, and it's just really beautiful paper. So I'm just kind of giving you a little peek here at what this paper's about. So, all right. I'm also going to be using my stitched rectangle dies today and a couple of the dies from the Stitched So Sweetly. All right, let's get going. Okay. So I have my parts and pieces here. I'm going to grab my ruler so I can give you measurements as we go along. Feel free to ask questions. Hi Nancy, hi Sue, hi Sandra, hi Sue. I've got 2 Sues. Thanks for popping on and joining me today. I really appreciate that. All right, so you can see in here I've got some of the bedazzled paper. If you were lucky enough to get your hands on some of this during celebration, I'll be using that. But if you didn't, you can use any kind of glittered cardstock you might have, or foiled, just something shiny. And if you want to, you don't have to, but that is one thing that I'll be using today that isn't available, but it was in the past. Okay. Looking for my bone folder. All right, so I just have a standard size card base here, and this is in mint macaron. I'm using colors that are the colors from the paper pack. And then I chose this gorgeous piece of patterned paper from that pack. That is the back side, and I'm going to be cutting this and using both pieces actually. So maybe I will go ahead and do that as the first thing. So from my stitched rectangle dies, I'm going to use the 3rd largest rectangle here in the bigger ones. All right, so that one there. And I want to position this so that my stitching, after I cut this out, one side is going to be like an underneath layer, the back side, and then the other side is going to be the top side that you can see. I want to make sure that I position it so my stitching is right on the side that you're going to be seeing the stitching. And so that is this pretty side here. So I want to put my die on there so that you can see the stitching from the top and it's not like poking through on the bottom. If you cut this and then you decided you wanted to use the other side of it, your stitches aren't going to look quite right if you cut it from the back side. I hope that makes sense to what I'm saying. And I'm just trying to make sure, eyeballing this to make sure that it looks like I have it on there fairly centered and even. I'm not going to use my ruler to measure. I am just an eyeballer, okay? But what I will do is tell you what size this paper is, and it is 5 1/4 by 4. So it's just a 1/4 inch smaller than our card base. I'm going to go ahead and run this through my machine real quick. Okay. Hi, Kathy. I know, isn't this paper so pretty? I just love it. I need to order another pack of it before. I'm afraid it's going to be gone and I won't have another pack. So I was looking at it yesterday. I just need to do it because I'm afraid it's going to run out and I will be sad. Okay, so now then we have this rectangle and this sort of frame, which I'm going to turn over and use as a layer, but there's no sense in wasting this paper. I could have easily just used this full thing and not cut out the middle and cut that out of another piece. But why? I mean, why waste it, right? So this is going to be this layer here, but I don't want to put it on there yet because I'm going to be using some ribbon and stuff. So what I am going to do is I cut another layer of the mint macaron. So let me give you the size of this because I wanted it to be 1/4 of an inch larger than this rectangle. So the rectangle that that die cuts out is 4 1 2 3/8 by 3 inches. So then my layer here is 3 1/4 by 4 1 2 3 4 5/8. I hope that makes sense. Okay, so now I can go ahead and glue these two pieces together. And I'll show you the back side of the stitching. It still looks okay. I mean, and that's the front side stitches. So you can see they just look a little bit better than on the back, right? So you could still flip it over if you messed up and use the back siding, and probably nobody would even notice it. But you know how us card makers are, we notice those things. All right. There we go. Now then, this is going to go on here. So what I'm going to do, because this leaves kind of a thinnish bordered frame here, you want to make sure that you put your adhesive completely as close to the edge here as you can get it. So I'm going to run it right as much directly up to the edge as I can. And it really helps to have a silicone mat for these kinds of things, because if you have adhesive in the middle part here and you stick it down on your paper, it's going to be sticking to whatever's underneath of it. Okay, so let's get this on here, and this will cover up those stitch marks that are on the pink. All right, so there is that. And there you can see how it is from the back. And when I was making my sample, I didn't have my adhesive clear up to the edge of the green piece. And I was really having some problems with getting this frame attached. So I had to go back and make sure I had my adhesive clear up to the edges of that top piece. So that's how I learned that little thing. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some of that pretty ribbon. So I just need to get some adhesive on the sides here to catch my ribbon when I wrap it around. And while this holly paper doesn't have a right side, you know, I mean, it's not going just one direction, I still like to look at it and decide how I like it better, and I'm just liking it with that direction right there the best. And I'm just going to cut a piece of this. And this ribbon tends to, it's a frayed edge, it tends to like to still fray. So you just simply pull off any pieces that are fraying off. And I don't want this right in the middle. I kind of want it 2/3 of the way down. Kathy's saying she ordered some more of this paper too. Yeah, it's just beautiful. And I'm really loving the pink colors for Christmas this year. You know, I love traditional too, but I've always liked the really soft pinks and blues and lavenders too when it comes to doing Christmas things. I just think it's pretty. Okay, so now I can go ahead and get my adhesive, and I always like to run a little bit extra over the top of the ribbon. And you can use whatever adhesive that you like to use. All right. Now we can get this put on the front here. So do you like this color combination? I just think it's so pretty. Or are you more of a traditional color person when it comes to Christmas colors? All right, so there is our card base. And then I've got a piece of white that I'm going to be putting on the inside there. Let's play with some of these other things. Okay. So I've got this fun tree mounted here from the stamp set. And so we've got our mint macaron and we have polished pink. So I'm going to start with the mint macaron. Ooh, lavender. Kathy says she likes the lavender. Sue loves the pink. Kathy loves everything. I know, me too. All right, so we're going to stamp one tree in the mint macaron. And let me get this stamp cleaned off. And then we are going to stamp one in the polished pink. So this particular card, I did get inspiration from a card that I saw on Pinterest from a UK demonstrator. Of course, I had to change it up, but I thought it was so pretty. And then my second card was my own idea, even though it's just the layout of this card that I got her inspiration. Okay. So let me get my dies. I need the one to cut out that tree, and then I'm going to use this fun one here to cut out that bedazzled paper. So I can run two of these through at the same time. Oops, let me get my die turned over the right way. So I think these are actually really easy cards to make, and they turn out so pretty. Okay, and then I'm going to put this on here, and I try to make the best use of any of my glitter paper that I can, because I save even little pieces of this kind of stuff. All right, I'm gonna run these two through, and I'll be right back. So there is our green tree, and then I just need to cut out the pink one. Now the other color of, so this collection uses polished pink, and it also uses the Blushing Bride. Let me make sure I have that right. Yeah. So the ribbon is actually in the Blushing Bride color. All right, let me see how we did here. I'm going to need to cut another one of these as well. These actually cut out really good, and I only ran it through one time on my machine. I thought I might have to run it through twice because, you know, this is a thicker paper, but it cuts out really well. So there is that. And let me just get this on here and cut it out a second time. Isn't that so pretty? So sparkly, so much more sparkly in person. Okay, let me cut these two out. What are you doing? Huh? Are you guys having fun? I think my dogs wonder who I'm talking to when I'm doing a video. All right, there's our pink tree, so cute. All right, there is that. Okay, so now you can save that and use it for something. I'm not sure what. I did not save my first pieces of that, but I'm surprised I didn't, because usually I won't let any of the sparkly stuff get thrown away, but I'm just not quite sure what I would use that for. Okay, let's see. I'm just going to snip that off right there. probably end up snipping it a little bit more even, we'll see. All right, let me bring my mat back in here. Now I could have put my sticky back paper on this first and then cut it out, but I kind of found that, you know, the tip of this glue is pretty fine, and plus we have the fine tip glue too. We have this glue, the fine tip glue pen. You can use that. But I pretty much like my Tombow, and there's a wide enough area on here, especially on the tips, to go ahead and get my glue on. Because after I did the first card, I thought, well, maybe I'll put my sticky back paper on, but I actually didn't have any trouble with the glue. And so I decided to just go with the glue. I don't know what the dogs are doing, Todd and Tula. They are having fun playing on the carpet, I think. Most of our house does not have carpet, so they have a better grip on the carpet. And so I think they just like to run and play on there. Okay, so there we have garland on the tree. If I can get it picked up. All right. So there's one. This glue holds really well too, so I guess that's what I like about it too. It's a good one. But I can't say enough about these silicone mats, and I consider them to be fairly inexpensive. So if you don't have one, the next time you order Stampin' Up, you should think about getting one, because I use mine all the time. They clean off well. You can squeeze glue out onto them and use a sponge to put glue on more tiny detailed things, and then just go wash it off in the sink. So there's those two trees. And then I just need to do a little sentiment for the front, and for that I've got the Joy mounted up here, and I'm going to use the polished pink. And then I'm going to bring in those Stitch So Sweetly dies, and I'm going to use the tiniest one here of this design to cut that out. Have you guys been watching Hallmark Christmas movies? I feel like it's gonna make Christmas like go on forever, but I've been watching them. And my sister and I went grocery shopping this morning at the Walmart, and as soon as I got in there, Christmas music was playing, and it literally made me laugh out loud. I don't know why it did, but it did. Okay, I'm gonna cut that out real quick. And I love Christmas music too. I don't know why it just struck me as funny, but for some reason it did. So hey, you know, if something makes you laugh, go for it. This day and age. All right, so there is our little joy. Now we can put this card together. Well, let me stamp the inside. So I've got the sentiment for the inside, which is also from that stamp set. May the love of the season warm your home and fill your heart. I liked that. And I'm just going to go ahead and also stamp that with the polished pink. Okay, I see I picked up the edge of the stamp with the ink, so hopefully I won't get it on my paper. All right. Okay, I want to clean that off real quick. And then I did cut a strip. You know I like to do that. So I cut a strip to put on the inside. I got most of the Thanksgiving meal food stuff. I didn't get the turkey yet, of course. It's a little too soon for that for me, and I don't have room in my freezer to store one in there, or like any of the fresh vegetable things, but I got the rest of it. Okay, I don't even think I need to trim. What'd I do? Why'd I do that? What a ding dong. Can I pull it off? Too busy talking and not paying attention to what I'm doing. Let me see if I can pull it off of there. I don't know if I can. I'm sticking. Would it be a video that I do without making some sort of boo-boo in it? No. I think this is fixable though. What a dummy. All right. Let me just put a little extra glue right there in that boo-boo spot. Of course, I could have just re-stamped it too, but sometimes when you stamp on the other side, you can kind of see it through the paper, depending on the color of ink. Okay. Were you guys all yelling at me? See, wouldn't that be why it would be a good reason if we could like communicate back and forth out loud? I mean, during a video, that would be so nice. And have you guys been checking out any of this meta stuff that is Facebook's going to be switching to, like some kind of 3D something? I'm so curious about all of this stuff. It sounds way too futuristic to me. I don't know. Some of that stuff kind of creeps me out sometimes. They're even advertising it on TV. You're supposed to be able to feel like you're right, like being transported to somewhere else. I don't know. I don't get it. All right. There we go. Since I put my paper down face down on the thing I'd been gluing on, it picked up some little sticky bits. All right, now we can finish off the front. So I'm bringing in my regular size and small size of the dimensionals. And I'm just going to put one little one at the top of each of these trees. And then here, I'm going to go all the way to the bottom here. And let's see, I can leave a little bit of room because I don't need to put it where the ribbon's going to go. So I might be okay with what I did there, actually. I might put one more right there, like that. I don't want my tree top to be going wonky, so I'm trying to line it up as straight as I can there. Okay, now this one's going to overlap that one a bit, so I don't want to get glue, I don't want to get dimensionals on this side here because then it would make that tree sticking up taller since we already have dimensionals over there. But I will put one down at the bottom over here. And then I might just put another little one over here like this. You know, nails are fun and all, and my nails are, I can grow my nails this long anyway. I mean, it is my real nails underneath, but sometimes when you can't pick things up and stuff. All right, so I'm going to put glue over here, just so that doesn't catch up on any edges and get pulled up, you know, like when you're putting it in and out of an envelope. All right, and then this is going to just come up a little bit here and layer over like so. So pretty. All right, and then the joy, I'm going to use the little dimensionals, and I'm going to put one at the tip top of that point and one down at the bottom. Like so. There we go. Because we're going to have that ribbon there. All right. This is going to go right over here. And once it's where you want it, then you can go ahead and get it pushed down really good. And that, my friends, is this card. I could have put some more bling on it, but with the pretty foiling in the patterned paper and, you know, all the bling we did on the trees over here, I just did not feel that it needed any more blingity bling. But it's so pretty. Okay, so let's do the second card. I did try to do some of the things ahead of time so you wouldn't have to watch me do repeated things. We're working with the same same stamp set and stuff, but we're going with different colors and the different background paper. And this one is so fun also. Okay, so I went with the pretty Blushing Bride card base, and it's our standard size, 5 1/4 by 5 1/2. 5 1/2 by 4 1/4. Okay, and then I got the pretty paper with the packages. We're gonna do a vertical card this time. Okay. And then I went ahead and I cut this tree out, this big tree, with this big die right here. So that's how that looks. And I cut out the blingity bling already, and I used that same garland, or whatever you want to call it. I call it garland. There's a small one of these in there too, because in the die set there's a little tree, and in the stamp set, and so there's a small one. Okay, so let me get a piece of scrap paper. And I'm going to take this tree stamp here and the mint macaron, because the tree, in my opinion, needs some texture, and there's not a stamp that big. So what I'm gonna do is just give it some texture. There. So now it looks more like a tree. You could also cut it out of one of the patterned papers if you wanted to go that way with it. And then I'm just going to do what I did before and add glue on here. Now this can actually stretch out, this garland thing. So you can kind of work with it as you go. But that Tombow catches hold pretty darn quick, so just make sure you're getting it where you want it. I don't want to stretch it out too far here, so let me get my bottom down. There we go. So pretty. Okay. Now then, what am I going to do? I'm going to, that is the back side of that paper. Isn't it pretty? See, you could actually even cut the tree out of that, I think. Would be fun. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue on here because I'm going to wrap my ribbon around. I'm getting too many things here in the way. All right, so, and my fingers are sticky from gluing. I think I'm gonna have to get me a wipe because that drives me nuts. I don't like gluey fingers. Thank you, Sue. Let me see what people are saying here. That's right, Sue. It's just paper. And thank you, Sue Whittle, for, she said, gorgeous, love this. I don't think you can go wrong with this collection. It's just so pretty. Okay, let me pull the frayed stuff off here. All right. So now there's definitely a right way to this paper. So you want to make sure you've got that going the way you want it. And again, I'm going to go not to the half point, but a little bit below that. So I'm going to go right about there. So cute. Okay, so now I'm going to layer that up onto Misty Moonlight. That's the blue color that's in this collection. And I cut it just 1/8 of an inch bigger here than my patterned paper because I just wanted a sliver of that color to pop. All right, now we can put that on the front. I wanted a little bit more of the actual card base showing on this one. So I cut my layers a little bit smaller. So the patterned paper on this one is 3 1/8 by 4 7/8, and then the blue is just 1/8 of an inch bigger. All right, so let me get some dimensionals on the back of this tree. I'm going to put one little one at the top. And just a few here on the back. I'm going to glue the base down just because I like to do that. I like to ground things a lot of the times by gluing the base down. I don't always do it, but it depends on the card. Pretty already. Okay, so I already stamped the joy using that same little die that we used on the other card, and I stamped it with the Blushing Bride, and then I used the next largest size and cut out that out of the Misty Moonlight. So I'm going to pop this up. And put that on there. And then I have a little something fun for the inside of this one too. Okay, let me get my little tweezers here because I want to make sure I get this kind of even with the points. There we go. And then I'm going to pop that up also. So I'm popping up both layers here, but I'm only going to put dimensionals again at the top and the bottom because that ribbon's going to run through the middle there. This is going to go right here. And then I brought in the in-colored jewels because they kind of go along with the colors here. And I'm just going to use the little ones. I'm going to use one of the pink. And I'm just going to, actually let me use the yellow one first because I'm going to put it right kind of in the point there, and then the pink over here, and one of the light green ones there. So pretty. Okay, now let's do the inside. All right, so I'm going to do the same sentiment that I used on the first one on the inside of this one, and I'm going to go ahead and stamp that in the Blushing Bride. And then I took two little presents out of that paper, and I am just going to cut these out. You could fill a whole little sleigh with these presents. There's a lot you could do with these little presents and other stamps that you might have in your collection. They could go coming out of the top of a stocking. I don't know. I love this paper. Like I said, I need to order another pack of it. I was gonna wait and order it when that sale starts on the cardstock and stuff, because there's some cardstock I need, but I'm almost afraid to wait, you guys. I might just have to go ahead and get it ordered, because I know people are gonna be ordering stuff to make Christmas cards if they haven't already. Okay, so let me get some glue on the back of these presents here. We're just gonna stick these right down here. Just a little something fun for the inside. I see I'm going to have to get my little eraser out again. There we go. Too cute. All right, you guys, here are the two cards. I hope you like them. I was really tickled with the way they turned out, and the papers and everything. They're just, like I said, you can't really go wrong with those papers, because it's all about that, and it just makes beautiful cards. Thank you guys. I love them. And like I said, they're actually really easy to make. So, thanks for joining me. I hope you guys get to do some stamping. I appreciate that you take time out of your day to come on and watch my videos. And if you're watching on the replay, I appreciate that as well. Please give me a thumbs up and subscribe. This will be on my YouTube channel as well as my Facebook page. I'm Jana Stamps on both of those pages. It's just 2 words on Facebook and 1 word altogether on YouTube. Okay, so thanks again. Have a great weekend. And I will see you in the next video. Oh, hi Maria. You're catching me right at the end. Thank you so much. All right, see you next time, guys. Bye-bye.